Well, the day that that came out, actually, I was at an event with John Zinnick, and I asked John, I said, how many cars do we have that go home? It didn't take him 6 months. It didn't even take him 6 minutes. He ticked off all the cars that went home. And I think that's something that we can certainly cut back on. That's not in of itself going to balance a budget. It may save us $50,000 to $100,000 by choking back up on that. But clearly, we're going to have to make very, very tough choices. Those are some of the ones that I would make. And actually, that would come, just some of those up, tallying those up, could be up to $3.5 million.
Thanks, Terry. And one thing that Terry did say was that I support attempting privatizing the city golf courses, and he mentioned that no one's going to want to do that, but the question is, have you tried? You say you can't do it because no one's going to want it. Unless you try, you don't really know. So I believe that is still an option. There are many places we can cut. And I look at it as a family cuts budgets. You break up your spending into wants and needs. You need to take care of your needs, take care of your high priority wants, and then your low priority wants, like your Main Street corridor studies and the Lake Bloomington studies, put them on the back turn until you got a better economic situation. Some places you can you can cut right now. Bulk trash collection costs us about $3.5 million a year, and it's a service that a lot of people don't use. Right now, we charge $7 a month for garbage pickup, which includes your bulk rate, your recycle, and your garbage. When you look at the breakdown for the cost of the city of Bloomington, about $9.50 of that is the recycling and the regular garbage pickup. So we're subsidizing about $2 per household. And then you have about $13 a month per house for bulk that a lot of people don't use. You may have a retired couple who just wants to put the can on the curb. Why should we raise their rates to cover bulk trash when they don't even use it? I would look at the bulk trash and see how can we reorganize that, make it a more efficient way, whether it's just a quarterly bulk trash pickup, whether you have to purchase a sticker to come out and pay the city, so the ones who use the product have to pay for it. The open bidding, it was set up a year ago that we couldn't save money by bidding out Remco. Now, Dave Hale says cities can be saving $2-3 million a year bidding Remco. Millions we're talking about. The privatization, that's just a few of the ideas I have as far as cutting back money, but it can be done. And of anything, though, please remember that in my administration, I will look for any option other than safety that will protect taxpayers from any increases in fees or taxes. They've paid enough. They didn't get us in this mess. They shouldn't have to pay to get us out of this mess.
Mark, Brad?
Okay. Mark, I'd love to sell the Coliseum. Believe me. Are you buying? The problem is that we have this heavy debt load that was done with the Coliseum. As long as the Coliseum is about breaking even minus the debt load, it doesn't make sense to sell it at a loss. But if somebody came in and said, we'll just take over the debt, I'd sell it in a minute. But we don't have anybody that wants to do that because it is losing money. You know, whenever you have something that's losing money, it's tough to get somebody to buy that unless you give them a big discount, and our bonding prevents us from doing that. It's the same with the golf courses. Somebody would come in and say, yeah, we'll give you 50 cents on the dollar for the golf course because they're losing money. A private business doesn't want that. To sell the Coliseum? Well, again, for the right deal, I'd be happy to do that right now. Sure. Oh, yeah.
I would, in this point, I wouldn't disagree with Steve in the slightest. If we could get a buyer, absolutely.
I'm looking for any way to cut money. And if it means bringing in offers, I would look at offers. And if it means taking a slight loss now, but just to prevent future payments, absolutely. It would still give us the same entertainment value, quality of life, but would get the monkey off our back. But to be honest, I don't think the Coliseum is a lost cause. I believe that if it's managed correctly, just like any business, you give a business to be successful, you need to have the right product at the right price. Our Coliseum doesn't either. I believe if we had better management, but although they're locked into their 10-year Enclair deal, if they had better management, we could be doing a lot better. Absolutely, I will be open. I am open-minded to anything to help Bloomington get out of its deficit, except for public safety. Thank you.
Lee Newcomb.
Well, Lee, have you ever been on Veterans at 5 o'clock? That's sort of NASCAR-ish. Yeah, you're right. The $23 an hour, and that's for a meter reader. And I don't want to say the meter readers don't work hard, because a lot of employees for the city do work hard. But one aspect of that, why I made so much media as well, is because it was the son of the human resources manager picking her son over 30 others to receive a $23 an hour job. And my administration, nepotism will not exist. But what do we do? The problem is that the administrations, the previous administrations have locked us into contracts with the unions. And the unions, in my opinion, while good in some aspects, can also be detrimental in other aspects. When you look at the increase in employees over the last 4 years, you're right, that's a lot of money. And there's no oversight on the number of employees we kept hiring and added to our public payroll. And at those salaries, that's hurting the city very much. David Hales is supposed to be talking with the union reps and see if there's any way we can somehow make an arrangement out. You have to look at the contract, see what legally we were able to provide, but going forward, especially with this living wage, that's just one more thing adding to a minimum wage to our employees. It's going to cost about $400,000 here for the first year for the living wage, and then you got coal on top of that, and then it's going to go out to the public sector, after public and private sector. We cannot afford this living wage because of just that aspect. You're putting a minimum wage, an artificial minimum wage, that's going to drive up prices of employees, and that is one of our biggest areas of concern. So I hope that answered your question.